All right, so after how many years?
26.
26 years. You thought you were going to retire there.
At 50, I thought I was going to retire. I had made a decision at 50. It was time for a new career, the next steps, maybe retire.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then something happened where that plan changed.
Yeah, very quickly.
And now you are jobless
Jobless.
right now.
Right now,
Right
jobless,
now.
yeah.
You've got a little bit of a runway, though.
Yeah,
A little bit of a runway.
Yeah.
And I've got some ideas for you that I think we could leverage and take advantage of the time.
oh, I know you do.
And we're going to talk about that today because I want the audience to hear from, well, someone that this happened to, because I think it happens to a lot of people.
Yeah, unknowingly. It happens to a lot of people, and you just don't hear about it. Yeah.
I think actually, though, your situation is probably better than a lot of others. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I think some people they get let go or fired. You didn't get fired. You didn't get let go.
I didn't get let go. I didn't get fired.
And we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But you did have a choice, and you decided to not stay with the company.
Right.
But they also did give you some type of severance.
Yes.
So that way there you have now a runway. That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. Some people, they don't.
Right.
And you did have that.
Yes.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why don't you walk me through, tell me this, because we're going to get to, like, just so everyone's watching here, the whole idea is Dave and I are good friends, and this is something that him and I would be talking about privately.
Yeah.
And I figured, you know what, let's clip on the mics.
And I volunteered.
And he volunteered. and I said, let's go over by the pool and let's have a conversation of what we would be talking about anyway. I remember you messaged me and you were like, hey, I got something important to share with you. You got time for coffee? We did. You told me. I was one of the first you told too, I think.
Yeah, you were.
And so what was the day that it happened? Not the exact date, but like when it happened, like were you like, is this really happening?
No, when it happened, when it was announced that we were making changes and some people's positions were going to go, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I really reflected and just smiled. Right. I thought about it in the moment. I'm like, okay, I knew some of this was coming. This makes sense. I now have an opportunity to think about what I want to do for the rest of my career. Once this is over, do I want to stay with the place that I'm at and find another opportunity? Or do I want to say after 26 years, more than half my life, a quarter century with one place, it's time to move on and figure out what's next, what chapter 2 might look like for me, whatever that could be. So I used that moment as an opportunity to reflect. Was it sad? Of course. You're married to a place for 26 years, and all of a sudden you find out they filed for divorce, right, for all intent.
Right.
And
I'm not in love with you anymore.
No, we don't love you anymore. And it wasn't just a me thing. There was about 40 or 50. So it's your typical type, like, hey, we're making changes.
Yeah.
You're impacted. And I just have to say, like, they were very helpful trying to help me figure things out if I wanted to. And I made a choice. Like, no, I think I'm ready. I think it's time for me to move on. Figure out what's next for me and best for my family, and knowing the plans that I want to have for my future, now's the time I want to starting like more aggressively with whatever that might be.
So, okay, 47.
47.
What was in your head? Like you said, 50 years old, you wanted to retire.
Yeah.
But technically, was that like fully retired, or were you like thinking still, because you know me, you're like, I'll do this YouTube thing and maybe do some affiliate marketing?
Maybe a little bit of both. I there's always goals I have with that, but I think it was more the professional corporate career. I wanted to retire from that. And then if let's say we moved, our goal is to be at the beach, right? We want to be at the beach when our days are done. And, I could get something there, maybe in a nonprofit or maybe helping some of the community out or something to that effect, but not your traditional corporate 9 to 5, take your vacation, did you make your bonus?
Right.
Like, I don't want to be in that situation again.
But at 50, would you have been at the point where you're just like, all right, I don't have to work anymore?
Close to it, but not nearly where anyone would say, like, my life is going to be amazing after that point. Right? Close to it. Yeah.
Because I'm just trying to get in the headspace, like, because some people are like, I still got to work another 15 years.
Yeah. No, there's no window there. I mean, we have done personally, we've done a really good job putting money away and planning for our future. Knowing we wanted to retire as early as we can. Like,
the fire movement.
You live the fire movement, right? You live this life once, right? And you know this. Like, we can get all philosophical, but like, I don't want to be 65, 70 and be where I want to be, but need a walker. Right. I want to do that as youthful as I can with all this that I carry, but make it fun while we can. And so that's the objective. And if it means we live a little bit more of a minimalistic lifestyle
Right.
to make that a reality. That was the objective.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. All right. So this happens.
Yeah.
And so technically you're in your head right now, are you thinking like, I got to go find something for 3 years only? Or are you thinking now like I might have to work longer?
No, it wasn't a work. It's not a work longer for me. It's whatever I choose to do. I use analogies, right? And in this one, I'm thinking about like Barbie's dream house, right? If I'm looking for another corporate or another professional job, there are certain things I want in the dream house, right? I want to be fully remote no matter what I do. I found success being remote, and I want to maintain that. So I'd love to have that flexibility in whatever it is that I choose to do.
And was that because of the pandemic, you think? You think it gave you a taste of it?
It gave
everybody a taste of it.
I unfortunately say the one good thing that came out of the pandemic was I learned how to be successful remotely.
Okay.
And learned how to manage my day much better and be much more effective than having to physically be somewhere.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it.
Okay.
So I want to maintain that, right? I want the chef's kitchen with the butler's pantry, and as I find what's available to me, then I'll start negotiating and saying, okay, I don't need the pantry, right? I can live without that to figure out what was next for me. But when I made this decision to finally say I'm done, I found peace, which I think is like we miss that in our lives, right? Not to get philosophical for a minute, but we miss this epiphany of peace when we make tough decisions. When I made a choice to say, you know what, I'm not going to look for anything. I'm going to, work my time, accept my severance, understand what's happening next. I found like this inner peace of, I feel really good about this, and I'm going to take this opportunity to make the best situation for myself and my family, whether that's YouTube, whether that's other online platform, whatever that might be.
Yeah.
I looked at it as an opportunity. I have an inner peace now. Now I just need to take the steps and the risks associated with this to figure out what's going to be best for me and my family. But it was stressful. Don't let me sit here and say it was like, oh, it was so easy.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't an easy decision. Stressful, but at the same time, once I made that concrete decision, had the conversations I needed to have, I felt this inner peace of I'm doing the right thing for myself. Like I have this inner peace.
Yeah.
And now I'm ready to move forward in whatever direction that might be.
Do you feel like because you have this runway, you have to kind of hurry up and find something?
No, because I haven't been overly aggressive finding something.
Okay.
Like candidly,
Okay.
As part of the conversation of finding a new job per se, I think I've applied for 2 opportunities that fit the Barbie's dream house analogy for me.
Yeah.
And just with a little bug, just waiting to hear back, and whatever happens, happens. But no, I haven't been urgently rushing. I've been a lot more deliberate in this moment than I may have been 10 years ago in trying to find another job. Like I've been very deliberate about networking and identifying what I want. A friend of mine asked, much like you asked me about, the online platform, YouTube specifically, like what is it you want to do? Like, where do you want to make a difference?
Yeah.
And because of that question, I was able to reflect, right, and really think and say, I want to be in this industry. This is what I want to do. And I'm a Lego guy.
Yep.
So my first thought was, man, if I had my ways, I'd love to work in the toy industry. I think that would be amazing, right? Like you're a part of something that's fun.
Yeah.
Versus
makes people happy.
I was in finance before.
Makes kids
right?
happy, but also makes adults happy.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love Lego.
You love Lego. So
don't say plural. It's not
Lego.
Plural. Lego.
Lego. Okay.
For the record.
Okay. For the record. Sorry, all Lego people out there. I'm sorry I offended you.
So I thought of I want to be in the toy industry, right?
Yeah.
Like that would be if I had my way, I'd be in the toy industry.
Yeah.
So I've been a lot more deliberate. So I haven't been running the sprint. I've been playing. It's not the 100-meter dash coming off the Olympics. It's more of, we're going to run the 1500 here, or we're going to do a few laps around the track. We're going to do it the right way so that when opportunities are found, I'm prepared for whatever those might be.
Okay. Because I guess, and I'm trying to see what in your head, like doesn't sound like there's a rush, but there technically you want something.
Yeah.
Right, but you want something that you're going to feel good about and enjoy.
Yes.
And that's why, I have the conversation with you, and you and I, we've been friends now for over 5 years now, right? At least, right?
Yeah.
And your channel, Nice Bricks, go check it out.
With 2 X's.
With 2 X's was we came
Can
up
we put
with
it
that.
down here?
Yeah, we can
we
put it
do it right there.
We can put it right in the description too, and we can put it on the screen.
Thank you.
But that was created, I believe, on the sidelines of a volleyball game.
We were watching our daughters play.
Yeah.
They were 12.
Yeah.
And Scotty, your son, was sitting next to us, and we were talking about it.
Yeah.
And just out of the blue, we were talking about what a name could be.
Yeah.
And Scotty blurted out, "Nice Bricks."
Yeah.
Oh, I like that name. And it just...
With the X's.
With the X's.
Yeah.
It went from there. So that's the origins
Yeah.
of the Nice Bricks
Right.
name.
Right. So that's what the name was created.
Yeah, and you got to get on you
Yeah.
got to get on
Yeah.
a platform.
Yeah.
Right.
And you started.
Yeah.
And you've kind of been dabbling for the last 5 years.
Yeah, more of the tortoise in this race.
Yes. But again, there wasn't any feet to fire.
Right.
Is there feet to fire now?
I want there to be.
Okay.
I think that's like, no, there isn't, but I want there to be.
Uh-huh.
And what I'm learning now that I have this freedom, and it's something we talked about the last time we got a cup of coffee,
Yeah.
was like, man, I have to get better at, now that I don't have these daily corporate style responsibilities, like, what's my day-to-day plan going to
Yeah.
look like, and
Yeah.
how am I putting this action, this action of moving my channel forward and my niche forward?
Yep.
Where does that fit into all this?
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm personally
Yeah.
struggling with, and having that like fear of, I want to fire, I want there to be, what am I doing about it?
Yeah. And so it's funny because the other day, and you've been better at posting videos. You had a run there where you were like one a week.
I had a run, I was consistent.
And then
Yeah.
it kind of tapered off.
Yeah.
And probably because life got in the way. You've got a
Yeah.
daughter that's getting ready to get into college. You've got a son that's in college.
We were around a lot. That was part of the reason.
Yeah.
A big part of the reason was because of what I was doing before.
Yep.
My firm in the financial services industry also said, hey, like, you can't talk about Lego investing. So at that point, I was like, oh, well, that's kind of my niche and what I enjoy
Yeah.
outside of just Lego collecting. Like, okay, I got to really step back and figure out what it is I want to do. And then this moment happened, and it's like, okay, now I'm a free agent in that regard. I
You
can
can
talk about
any-
whatever I want.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's when it opened up for me. And so, like I've had conversations with you about, like, I see the big picture. I've been doing this a long time. And like, I mean, I've been self-employed for 20 years
Yeah.
in different industries and different things. I'm more of I've never been a corporate guy, but I've also never been, I guess, locked into one industry. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of...
Every time we talk, you're trying.
I'm playing.
You're dabbling.
I'm playing.
Yeah. You're moving forward, dabbling.
Yeah, I'm dabbling. Or I
Dabbling
do
might not be the right word, but yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm starting something. I finish it. I might sell it.
Yeah.
And then I move on.
Yeah.
But I think everything kind of helps me evolve to the next place. But for you, I'm like, man, even when you didn't have this situation come up, I'm like, man, Dave, if you just once a week
Yes.
get on there,
Yeah.
right? But then you came up with the normal excuses,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, but my camera. Or
Yeah,
but
yeah.
my microphone.
And I think
Yeah, but the room.
a lot of beginners do.
Of course,
Right?
of course.
But it's a fear.
It is.
It's
And
a fear of
that's
lack
why,
of perfection.
That's why I want people to hear this.
Yeah.
Because it's so common.
Very common.
I just did a video that aired today.
Yeah.
That was like how to be more confident on camera. But I've also done one that is like the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
That's another one. It's like,
Yeah.
well, who's going to listen to me? Everybody else has done it already. Why am I an expert?
I've learned you don't know till you put it out there, right? I
Exactly.
think that was like my first couple of videos were absolutely terrible, and not to say what I produce now is fantastic, but every video I feel like I'm learning and improving, and my confidence grows. And once the camera's on and I start, I find a rhythm, and I'm learning just to be myself and
Yeah.
not something I'm not.
Yeah. That's the key.
Right? I know we spoke about that when I first watched one of your videos
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you missaid. I was
Yeah.
very...
Yeah,
like-
you were very critical
And
on
you
that.
gave me great feedback. Like, this is me.
Yeah.
Like, this is who I am. My audience knows this. If not, that's okay.
Yeah.
This is just who I am and how
Yeah.
I approach it. I'm like, I can live with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it lessens the pressure
Yeah.
of having to dot all the I's and
Yeah.
cross all the T's.
But
for
it's
me.
scary, man.
Oh, it is.
It's scary taking that first step.
It is.
Like, give me a room of 1,000 people and a microphone and tell me to get up on stage and tell jokes and make fun of people. I'd be the first one to volunteer.
Right.
Tell me to hold the phone up like this and like, hey,
Yeah,
everybody,
yeah.
welcome back to Nice Bricks. I'm like scared.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, like the
it's-
stress builds.
It is. And so I did the video yesterday and I was talking about like what to do. And I used you as a reference as I said, I whenever I'm recording, like right now, because you're front of mind for me, I'm talking to you. And so I'm looking in the camera, that Osmo is Dave. And so I'm talking to Dave.
Slender.
Yeah, Slender Dave. And so that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That I'm helping you because that's what I'm trying to do. But I'm also know that I'm taking this message and I'm bringing it out there.
Absolutely.
But I know that you're not going to really judge me. you're not going to be like, well, Scott, you did say that word wrong. If you did, you'd kind of be like, you say it like that. I'm like, yeah, I don't say embarrass. I don't say embarrass.
Hang on.
Or whatever. Right? You know what I'm saying? Or wait a minute. Tournament or tournament?
It's tournament.
Right? What is it?
We could put a poll.
In the comments, is it tournament or tournament?
We're not going to say who says what, just for the record.
Just for the record. That's good. That'll get some good comments.
We'll see.
So I want to get into like the big picture for me and for like strategy. And because I see like for you, like I think you could do what you're doing now and have a lot of fun and make a lot of money. I really do believe that. Side note is it's going to take work.
Yes.
It's going to take work.
Yeah.
And so like I always tell people it's the audience first. Got to build the audience first. I just looked. You did a video, 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks.
6,000 views.
Yeah. Yeah.
6,000 views.
I was not expecting that.
You weren't.
I wasn't.
But guess what? You probably, we're going through everything and you were like, I don't want to post it. I ain't got time, blah, blah. You post it.
I was excited to do that one.
6,000.
Yeah, I was excited to do that one.
6,000
I was ready to go. I was not expecting the views that it did get. Primarily because it's the algorithm, right? It's like, oh, here's new content.
Yep.
It's been a while.
Yep.
Let's reintroduce slowly and see how the audience reacts. And I'm grateful that, for whatever reason, some level of audience reacted, and the stats of it look good. Yep. Right? I think I gained over 50 subscribers, which for me,
that's great.
I'm nearing 700. So that was, we'll call it an 8%, 10% increase in subscriber ratio. I was very happy with that.
Yep.
But it was very unexpected.
But with that, that's where we need to now, we got more.
It's 2 weeks.
Right.
It's 2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's too long.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. We agree on that.
We agree.
Okay. So I need you to figure out a way that, like you did for your corporate job, that you had a meeting on Monday and you showed up for the meeting on Monday and the job got done by the end of the day. It has to almost be your thought of, like today I did a live stream with Scotty for this channel, 4 o'clock. We were on for almost an hour and 40 minutes.
Okay.
Every Thursday, it's 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern time because he works. He gets out of school at 3.
Comes over.
He goes to his house and we do it. He does it remote over there.
Oh,
and
you guys do it?
We do a StreamYard.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're not using the studio right now.
Okay.
We're going to use that in the future.
Yeah.
And then...
See, and I thought I was going to get the studio, everybody.
We'll get that eventually. This is more casual.
We're good.
Right. And
We're good.
I like the pool.
The noise is nice.
The noise is nice.
Yeah.
But where I was going with that was then on Wednesdays, I do my live stream for my Brand Creators channel. Okay. And that's generally 2 hours long.
Right.
But I don't miss.
Right.
It's my job.
It's Wednesday at whatever AM, you're doing it. And you and Chris, you guys are doing it.
And all I do for that is I prepare maybe half hour.
Yeah.
And I do my title.
Yeah.
I do my bullet points. And then I have 3 subtopics that I'm going to talk about. And they turn into 3 independent videos that get posted on the channel.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is like, we need to figure out a system.
Yeah.
You're all about processes.
Yeah,
right?
definitely. That's my mind. I'm very process oriented.
So we need to figure out when can Dave commit to it now that you're jobless. You can
make that face.
Well, I mean,
but I am.
You are.
So I'll explain briefly what I've been going through in that sense.
Okay.
Like, I admit, and I shared a minute ago, that hey, this idea of where does the schedule happen is I'm figuring that out. So I will share this with the audience, and I hope this helps somebody. Like if you're in this moment, I'll look at the camera. If you're in this moment, get help. Right? I have a friend who just happens to be in the professional coaching business, and I reached out to her. I'm now one of her clients, and I told her honestly, I'm struggling with my schedule commitments because I don't know what I should be doing, when I should be doing it, versus I have all this I want to get done. When am I going to do it? So she is really starting to help me decipher, okay, like what can your commitments on which day look like? Maybe Monday's your research day. And I'm putting like my hand out here.
Yeah, don't block the camera.
I know. Monday's your research day, right? Tuesday is your networking day. Wednesday, and keep it very simple.
Yeah.
And then put subheadings in that. And I said, okay, that sounds good. I'll test that. And I'm even giving her access to my calendar. Okay. Right? Check it out. You give me feedback on it. So it's a matter of when you're in these moments, whether it's starting a YouTube channel, figuring out your second career, other social media, and Etsy, so whatever it might be, like it's okay to get help from people. Don't think you have to do it by yourself, but you got to want to do it. And so she's helping me, much like you're helping me figure that out. And then I said to her, I was like, I need at least 2 days of the week where I'm committing a few hours, whether it's Tuesday, Thursday, to YouTube content.
100%.
And she asked me, she's like, do you want to grow your YouTube while you're looking for what's next. And I said, I want to do both.
Yeah.
Like,
Smart
because
answer.
I want to do both.
Yep.
Until I get to a place, if the channel can continue to grow, where it can be monetized effectively enough,
It will be.
that I can accomplish the goals that I have for it.
Yep.
And I think for anyone in this moment, like, be realistic about your goals,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we
That's a
can,
big one.
maybe it's another conversation,
Yeah.
but another time. But like, don't just, you can post to post content,
Right.
have fun, enjoy it, be
Right.
something you love, but be realistic about what your goals are with it,
Mm.
so that you at least have a target you're going for. And I think through all this, and I'm still new to it all, I was just doing.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm in a moment where I want to be very deliberate about what I'm doing and not just do to do. And so that was really helpful. So I'll just share, like, get help. It's okay.
Yeah.
You should get help.
Well, and so I think you're right. And because not a lot of people, and it's funny, like I sit back and I think, I'm like, well, why is that so hard? Right? Personally.
Yeah.
Because I've been very disciplined with my own time. Gosh.
Some people are naturally good at that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I had never thought I was, but now I hear other people struggling, not just you, but other people. And I'm like, you know, it's like, to me, it's just like a commitment. If you can make a commitment to a job, why can't you make a commitment to yourself and schedule it like you would anything else? Like, okay, or I'll tell you what, gym membership.
Yeah.
If you buy a gym membership, you're probably going to feel more like you need to use it.
Yeah.
But if you have a gym in your garage, you might not get out there as much because you're like, I'll go there tomorrow. I didn't pay anything for it. Right. So I look at that. So anyone that's watching, I just think, like, you need to sit down with yourself and say, and I don't need a lot of time. Like, if you give me 2 hours a week, we can build your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I really believe that. I do think that your videos that you're doing are really good, but I also think, like, you might be doing too much at times where we can probably scale that back. I think you can jump on, find 2 or 3 things online that's like news on Legos, and you can sit here and talk to the camera.
You said it plural again.
Lego.
Ding two.
Ding, ding. I have a zapper.
Yeah.
Okay, Lego.
And I think that's part of the planning, is the planning aspect of what is of interest to the audience, what's of interest to me first. If it's not of interest to you personally, like, don't do it.
But is there an aggregate out there that has, like, that you could plug in and then you would get news stuff on Lego?
Well done.
There's
plenty of platforms. There's plenty of platforms I could go to.
Right. So right now I have a Google alert.
Yeah.
Every morning.
Yeah.
Comes to my inbox, and it's Etsy, straight, just one keyword, Etsy. The other one is Etsy seller.
Okay.
I have another one for TikTok and TikTok shops.
So anytime it comes up, you'd say,
every morning I got a daily report, and it says these are the news articles for today.
Okay.
And then I forward that over to my partner Chris, and I go, "Is this worth talking about this week?"
Right.
And he's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Like this week we had something from the White House that basically said that they're going to be starting to they're going to crack down on fake reviews.
Yeah.
For every platform.
Paid, fake, right.
So what I did is I turned that into an Etsy story, and I said, "Are Etsy reviews done forever?"
Right.
That was my topic. And now we've plugged that in, and now I'm going to have a story come out next week that talks about it.
Yeah.
So to me, you don't even have to, like, demonstrate Lego stuff.
No.
It's like, hey guys, just got this in from the Lego website or from wherever it is, right? You give them credit.
Fanatics, it's
you give them credit, and then you're like, I can't believe it, but they're going to drop a new Star Wars, and it's been leaked out. They're going to do it, and I can't believe that they're going to do it. And you're like, so they say that, they're going to be releasing it slowly, but I'll keep an eye on it. If you guys hear, let us know. And you just talk about why that one's good, why the other ones were good, and then you just kind of riff on it for 10 minutes.
Okay.
There's a video.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go in your shop and do the Lego and the build. Or Lego, I said Lego,
right? I said Lego.
Now,
now
I'm all conscious now.
I will catch
See, now I don't like this. Because now I have to think.
I got him.
And I don't want to think.
It's a respect thing, man.
Yeah. I may need to flip this around because I'm not getting enough lighting on my face.
I think lighting's so good.
It is pretty good.
Yeah.
I just wanted to flip
that
around.
I think that, like, I struggle, admittedly, with the planning. Like, and as an example, this last video, the one I told you today I'm editing, that will be tomorrow, Saturday morning, released, is about year-end's coming, right? It's time to find if your theme. I'm a Marvel person, I'm a Star Wars, so I tend to stick to those two. But here are some Marvel sets that are retiring that I would highly recommend you invest in, and here are my reasons why. But man, I thought about that 2 days before filming, So the idea of sitting back and planning it and being deliberate about it is something I admittedly struggle with. So I want to build that. Like when I put my calendar together, Tuesday, YouTube, research, 5 ideas, play it out. And just for the record, I'll put out there, like, why not use a chat and AI to help you plan and everything?
100%. Like all that's good. So let me ask you this: if you and I were talking Lego, because like I'm not a Lego guy, right? But if we were, and I called you on the phone, and I go, "Hey Dave, did you see that there's this new Lego that's coming out? It's going to be a private release. They're only going to sell a certain amount." And you're like, "Yeah, but I don't like that one because of this, that, and the other," right?
Yeah. I would.
That's the conversation.
I would be that way. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you just need to pretend like someone said to you, "Hey, did you hear about this article?" And you're like, "Guys, I just saw this article, and here's what I think."
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, you don't need any planning for that because you can riff on that.
So here's where my skepticism comes into play.
Okay, hit me.
I've done videos of new releases, and it could have been many reasons, small audience, but it doesn't matter. They get less views.
Okay. How many have you done? Not enough.
Not enough to have.
Let's sample it.
I'm a statistic guy. Not enough to have an aggregate sample.
Let's test it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't mean like that means 1 a week. Maybe do 2 a week.
Yeah.
These are easy, Dave. I can come out here in the morning, shoot 10, 12 minutes. The editing that's done to this is I import it into the computer, I chop the front, I chop the back, and I upload. And I take a screenshot and I put something over top of it.
Yeah.
That's the extent of it.
Yeah.
Now, are these getting thousands of views right now? No, but it's a back catalog that people can go through as well. Right? I mean, we had a video on this channel that did take off.
Right.
Got like 27,000 views. That really got us some good momentum.
Right.
But now on the back end of that, we had some that had like 50 views that now have 800 views.
Right.
Because people go to the back catalog.
Yeah. And you've mentioned that to me before.
Yeah, so we want to build a catalog.
Right.
We want to build a catalog of the audience that's eventually going to be there.
Right.
That's how I think about it.
Right.
So I would like to see you right now, like you've got this, to me, it's a gift. You've been given a gift because
It's a scary gift, but yes, it's a gift.
You wouldn't be here in this situation if this didn't happen.
That's true.
And so now it's kind of like, oh, cool, I've got all this time.
And I've shared with people, they've asked, what are you going to do? And I said, right now I don't know, but I know this is an opportunity for me to dedicate myself more to growing my YouTube channel.
Yes.
And moving that forward.
That Lego channel, I'm telling you right now, could be a 6-figure business.
Yes, because we've talked and like,
day long.
why can't I be in years to come the senior citizen talking about Lego?
100%.
Like, why can't I be?
100%.
Right.
Lego collectors over 40.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
and there's a ton of us.
There's a ton of you.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I could even see, and this is like way out there, but I could see this happening. I could see you having an event and people coming to the event.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Of course. I mean, clearly.
Who wouldn't?
Clearly. But I'm serious. Like, I could see a meetup. I could see people paying to come to an event where you have vendors. Like, it's like Pokemon. Did I say that right?
I guess.
You know, Pat Flynn.
Yeah.
He created a 1 million subscriber off of Pokemon, and he had an event that he sold more than he did on Smart Passive Income.
Really?
Oh my gosh!
Oh.
He's got this big convention now for Pokemon. He had like thousands of people come, pay money to be there. It's a whole event. I mean, what's the one in? It's not this big, but what's the one? Comic or?
The one in Charlotte?
No, there's one that's the Marvel and superheroes, and it's out in California.
Oh, Comic-Con.
Comic-Con.
Yeah.
It's like that, but a smaller version.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it's
Yeah.
like everyone comes like, it's almost like sports cards too, right? Like people come there for that. I think Lego is bigger than that arena, but I'm just saying, like, I could see events. I also told you, if you do the aggregate, you're doing work that other people aren't doing, and you bring it to their inbox.
That's the goal, right? That's the goal.
And if you do that, like I was telling you the other day, if you do that, people can sign up for your email newsletter every Monday at 8 o'clock. It gets dropped.
I'm laughing because that terrifies me.
Why? Let's talk about that.
Well,
Let's dig a little
transparently.
deeper.
We could dig deeper. Transparently, it's some level of commitment. Just to be blunt,
Really?
Right?
Okay.
If we're going to put cards on the table holistically,
It's commitment.
It's about commitment and dedicating myself to doing that, and honestly, also thinking the worth and the value. Am I truly going to provide a value to people? And I guess I can answer that myself and say, well, if they don't find a value, they're not going to subscribe to it.
Exactly.
And there might be others that find it a value. So,
Well,
I can hear the answers coming.
Okay, but let me ask you this. If you're saving someone time,
Yeah.
are you bringing value to that person?
Yeah.
Okay, then that answers that, because that's
Yes.
what you're doing. Yes, you can say, well, they can just find it themselves on on the internet. Why? I'm just curating this stuff or whatever, right? But they still have to go find it all, right? So for you to bring it into a nice little digest and it's done, and it doesn't have to be big. Like you might be thinking, I got to write this whole newsletter every Monday. No, it's like literally like one or two things, right? And I use the guy that I subscribe to, Creator Hooks. It's a great newsletter. Every Monday he gives you 5 titles.
And not sponsored by.
Not sponsored by. I know Jake. Jake was on my other podcast. Great guy.
Right.
But he created something called Creator Hooks, and every Monday you get this 5 titles that he's done the research on that have done well, and then he gives you 2 or 3 examples of how to use them. Right. Now he sells on the back end of that. It's Creator Hooks Pro.
Okay.
And now he's got a database that he also has AI built into now. And then you can go and search for, I want to see stuff in the basketball niche.
Right.
I want to see stuff
And
that...
you'll get a whole
slew of them. Or I want
Wow.
to see something that is more fear-based.
Okay.
And then you'll get a whole bunch of titles that are more fear-based or
Right.
curiosity-based.
Right.
And so he's taken everything that's out there that's existing, he made it easier for
So
you.
he's made, we'll call it a Google of titles
Yes,
and
and
some
hooks.
level of hooks and thumbnail.
Yep. Not thumbnail.
thumbnail?
No
Okay,
thumbnail.
okay.
Just title.
Okay.
And people are paying $29 a month for the
For
Pro.
the Pro.
Okay? So, I mean, if you do the math,
Yeah.
even if you get 100 people, that's $2,900 a month.
Right.
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 And you're in the Lego world, for someone to get that's investing in those as well.
Right.
Right. Now you're talking. Now it's different than someone just saying I'm a collector because I like to collect. It's like I'm collecting to possibly benefit later with
Yeah.
them selling like a
Yeah.
like a card.
Yeah.
Right. So with that in mind, someone would be willing to pay that, almost like you'd be willing to pay for someone that's giving you stock, not advice, but like giving you tips. Or,
Well, quintessentially, you are pointing them in a direction
Yes.
that they may have not thought of or aren't
exactly.
aware of.
Or
Right.
here's another one too, right? And I'm sure there's already out there a curated place where people that will go in and find these ones that there's 5 left in, Walmart here in Charlotte. And then you're like, you put 5 in there, right? And someone's like, oh, cool. And then you got another state. And so you could have people that are curating, putting all of these things where you're like, you don't know where to get these,
Right.
but they're all over the place.
But they're here.
But they're here.
If you're in,
Now that's a little bit more hard, it's
Yeah.
harder to do, but you
Yeah.
get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
People would pay for that because now they're like, cool, I'm on the inside track. All I got to do is get that notification and I can go to Walmart and get
and
one.
interesting, I don't like to admit you're right. For the record, it's now public.
It's public. It's documented. I think we're still recording.
However, so when I do get comments, though, the people are like, oh, you're right. I don't like the price of that one, but I was able to get it at clearance here. And that might be, I'm in St. Louis, just naming a city.
Sure.
I'm in St. Louis, and I got this Liquid Death for half off. I don't know if there could be someone watching that video, reading the commentary that's in St. Louis. Like, I'm going to go to that Target, Walmart, wherever
100%.
that is, that right?
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, organically through some of the commentary, that can happen.
Yeah.
And for me, man, it's just, and I think I am your audience in the sense of, who am I? Why do people want to listen to me?
Because you're obsessed with Lego.
But it's a question you have to answer for yourself, right? Like, I have to believe that, and someone else starting their niche just has to believe, like, I'm going to bring a value to this. Like, I know what I'm talking about. I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to get better, and it's going to create something for me.
But you're not also going out there and saying that you're the expert.
Right.
You're saying, I am probably more knowledgeable than someone that's just getting into this,
True.
but there's probably things that I'm going to learn along the way, and guess what? I'm going to share those.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know everything about YouTube, but I'm learning every day.
Right, every day.
And then something I learn or I test, I'm going to share.
Man, that starting line, that's the toughest part to pass.
It is.
Right?
But
Like,
that's-
someone could start the race.
Yeah. Yeah. And so for me, for you, it's getting consistent on the uploads.
Yes.
Okay. And so what can you do to reduce the barrier? So to me, it would be like, let's do one Lego. It doesn't be a Lego build. It could be the ones where you're screen sharing, showing like 5 that have just come out or 5 that are going to retire.
Which is what I prefer to do.
You like
Right.
doing those. Those are
Yeah.
pretty simple for you
Yeah.
to do. Do those, and then one like this.
Yeah.
Where you get that feed, and every week you report on the news, on Lego.
Okay.
Something that happened, like an update.
Yeah.
Or breaking news. Like breaking news works awesome for headlines, by the way. Been using them on the Etsy stuff. I mean, you look at our views go up, our click-through rate goes up. It's
They get my attention.
yeah,
I subscribe, they get my attention
as
regardless.
long as you're delivering on the promise,
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But if everything's breaking news, there's no breaking news.
Right.
Right. So I see it for you. I mean, let's go through like the revenue model.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the audience built. Part of that is getting emails. Okay.
So getting
People's emails so you can send them out.
membership.
Nope, no membership yet. That's revenue.
But that's part of
We're-
what's the
we're-
process.
yes.
I want to understand. Yeah.
Okay, so like example, someone's
Mm-hmm.
watching your video and you're like, so guys, I just found this one set, whatever. This was one that I had talked about in my newsletter a couple weeks ago. Oh, and by the way, if you're not subscribed to my Lego Insiders, newsletter, in the comments, put email or put Lego or Insider,
Whatever keyword I
whatever
want.
keyword you want.
Yeah.
And then they're going to put it in there, and then you're going to send them the link to your landing page, which is going to capture their email address.
Right.
I've got a whole video on that on this channel.
Yeah.
I just shot it.
Yeah.
Okay, and I literally build the page. I build the landing page, the thank you page. I show the follow up, how to connect everything in ConvertKit. It's all there. I'll drop that in the description. But that's the first step. So like right now, we started building this, and right now I'm public about it. Like right now, this is a new channel. What 90 days, a little over 90 days old.
About that, yeah.
Right? And we just got monetized, and we just started building the list. I think it was a month ago. We got 175 email subscribers.
Okay.
So I mean, that's great. Like I'm getting about 5 to 6 a day.
Right.
Right? Because I'm mentioning things where people can get on the email list. Like, hey, if you want our swipe file of our best hooks, put hooks in the comments.
Okay.
Or hey, I just did a live stream the other day about my 100K roadmap.
Right.
Put 100K in there, and I'll
send it to you.
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
So I'm putting out these what we call lead magnets.
Yeah.
So your lead magnet would be like, hey, I send out a thing every Monday or every Tuesday, whenever it is, at 8 o'clock in the morning. You're going to get it every time, and I give you the most up-to-date like Legos that are trending or
Right.
the ones that are coming out.
Here's what
Yep. If you
I
want
think, or-
if
yeah.
you want to be a part of that, just put Insider in the comments and you'll get on the list. And then you go right back to business. You just start talking about what you're talking about. Now you build that email list, you get to send the emails every week, but then also every time that you're on video, you're able to mention it. And that's how that thing just perpetually just
Right.
grows, right?
get the ball rolling down the hill.
We're not talking paid membership yet.
Yeah.
Right? That comes later.
Okay.
Right? So we build the audience on YouTube, but we're taking audience off of YouTube as well, so we can control that. There's no
Right.
algorithm involved there.
Right.
Then from there, you're also mentioning Lego in the videos. So what are you going to do? You're going to link up to Amazon
Yeah.
or wherever you're getting them, and
Yeah.
then you can have an affiliate program there. So you
Yeah.
make affiliate commissions there.
Yeah.
And then from there, you also have, you're eventually going to get 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. You're going to turn on ad revenue there, right? And then eventually when the audience gets big enough, you're going to have sponsors. People are going to want to pay you. I mean, how would you feel if someone said, I'll pay you $1,000 to just give me 2 mentions? Give me one about 5 minutes in
I'm
and give me
holding
one.
a smile back right now.
Would you take that?
Yeah, depending on what, right? Like, yes, if I believe
Okay.
Liquid Death.
Okay.
Sure.
Right, okay.
Right.
So it's a
Short answer is
a
yes.
carrying case for
Yes.
a Lego set,
Yes.
right? Okay. So you're going to promote that for $1,000, and all you had to do is mention it twice.
Right.
That's possible. Okay. And I know that because I've done it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So literally, the easiest money that you'll ever make, as long as you believe in that company.
Right.
That's the key.
Yeah.
You don't want to just promote to promote.
That's
You're not
what
gonna just
that's
say,
why
I'm
I
gonna
was hesitant
promote a
to say
mattress.
yes.
You know,
yeah.
it's like no.
Yeah. Baseline, yes.
Yes.
There are obviously
Okay.
answers. Yeah.
So we're talking ad revenue money, okay? We're talking affiliate money. We're talking potentially a membership on the back end. Now, the membership also could just be within YouTube. YouTube has it all baked right in. You don't even need a membership site.
Yeah, so that's where your video is valuable, and I'm not trying to sell your video at all to the audience here,
Yeah.
but like your video is valuable to help understand that. Because
Yeah.
I've texted you how many, hey man, I'm confused.
Yeah.
Next time we get up and get coffee, can we talk about this? Because it's confusing if you don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, and for me, it's the intimidation factor of like, I don't know what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Like yesterday was Amazon Associates, right? And
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
texting you, right?
Yep.
It's like, oh, that was easy. I just had to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is like there's revenue streams there. And there's more than that too, but like that, those are the surface ones, but it starts with the audience. And in order to get the audience, we got to publish. And so to me, if we increase the frequency, we're going to increase our chances. We got a video that just hit 6,000 views. Imagine if we posted another 2 that got 6,000 views.
Yeah.
You're not hitting the same audience every time. Like every time you might think like, well, I got 800 subscribers, so they're going to see everything. They don't, but they're going to be notified but they might not all see it.
Right.
So then you want the new audience to get out there. Those
I
6,000.
want a new audience
I mean,
right
you
now.
have what do you have, 700?
700.
700,
Yeah, we're around
right?
700.
700 subscribers, and that video got 6,000. That means there's that many more people that didn't, 5,300,
Right.
that did not subscribe that weren't your subscribers.
Right.
So imagine you do that all the time. Not that you're going to get 6,000 every time, but you might get one that gets 100,000.
Yeah.
Like in the space, I looked again today before we did this because I wanted to see. There's some that get millions.
Oh, there are people out there who have a huge following and a huge audience.
Yes.
Like multiple 100,000 subscribers.
So that is the proof is there.
Yeah,
We
the
know
proof's there.
we know the audience is
Yeah,
there. Now
yeah.
we just have to get in front of the audience.
Yeah.
And I do think, and I'm going to give you credit, which I don't normally do, but you're
It's there, everybody.
you've gotten better on camera, and I think you just being yourself. Like I know Dave, he's dry. He's got dry humor. You really do. You do, dude.
Okay.
You know, it's just kind of like, it is what it is. He's got that voice. Hey, guys, Dave from Nice Bricks. I'm going to tell you what I got to tell you today.
Yeah, the comments I've gotten of like,
Yeah.
you're the one, I like your humor, but you're the one person that gets to the point.
Yes.
Like, you know,
yes. I ain't got time to mess around with this. It's Dave, Nice Bricks.
here's why I don't like
Peace
it.
out. Yeah.
Here's why it's good.
Yeah.
You'll get red in the face. I've gotten those comments before. You're direct to the point.
Yep. But that's
you don't tell us
good.
the whole story. You
But-
get right to it. That's why I like to watch you.
But that's your character.
Yeah, that's me.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's you. And
Yeah.
that's when you know you hit it.
Yeah.
So to me, I personally think like you're dialed in there.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get better even, right? More comfortable. And I think the more that you do that, I think the audience is going to grow and it's going to also be more loyal.
Mm-hmm.
There's an article out there, and I think I mentioned it to you, called True 1000 Fans. If you have not read that, I'm going
Send it to me.
to send it to you.
Yeah.
Just Google it.
Okay,
If you
I can do that.
if you just Google True 1000 Fans, it's
Yeah.
a blog post that was posted probably 10 years ago, and a guy wrote it that said, if you can build an audience of 1,000 true fans, you will be set for life. You won't have to work again in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that because that audience will buy things, whether it's Lego sets and you're going to get a commission. They don't pay you directly, but they did.
Right.
Right. They're also going to pay you with their time
Yeah.
to watch you.
Yeah.
They're going to like things, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit subscribe, right? And so that's another form of payment.
Yeah.
Right. So I just think like if people think to themselves like I have to have 100,000 or I have to have 1 million, you don't. Right. I told the story here, and I don't know if I've ever shared that with you, but I had New Portrait Biz years ago. 16,000 YouTube subscribers. I didn't run ads on it. I think at the time they weren't available, and then when they were available, I thought to myself, I don't want to take people off and not buy my stuff.
Right.
Right? So I didn't. Probably would have made, I don't know, a few $100 a month probably, because it only had 16,000 subscribers.
Right.
But I built that channel, and before it had 1,000 subscribers, I think maybe just 1,000, I built an email list, even did it back then, and that was my first $12,500 launch.
Okay.
I sold a digital product for the photography space. In 3 days, we did $12,500 off a $147 product. But I built that audience for probably 6 to 8 months, built it up to 1,000. I had about 800 people on an email list, and then I sold $12,000.
Okay.
In 3 days.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it. Scotty was bawling, and he was in like 3rd or 4th grade. And I remember Lisa called me on the cell phone, the flip phone at the time, and I had to have her switch the web pages. And back then you had to go into like the FTP file,
Yeah.
change all this stuff. And I said, all you gotta do is just change these 2 things. So she did, she turned it over. It was gonna go live at 3. And she calls me, she goes, oh my God, Scott, there's like $1,000 in our PayPal account. She goes, oh my gosh, like what's going on? And I go, refresh it.
Yeah.
So she refreshed it. There's 1,800 now.
Wow.
And it just kept going up
Yeah.
until it hit about 5 to 6, then it tapered down. And then throughout the next 2 days, we hit $12,500. That right there changed my life because I'm like, wow, like that's what it feels like. I made more money then than I did in our photography season for like 3 months.
Okay.
And so it was like game changing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, then the self-doubt came in though, and I'm like, can I do it again? And then I did 20,000 the next time. And then I was like, holy crap. And that first year I made over 100 grand. And also, fun fact, I wasn't saving for taxes. I didn't know anything about that. So I go to my accountant. My accountant says, hey, Scott, you got a drink? You sitting down? I says, no, why? He goes, you owe the government like $25,000.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Okay.
Now, luckily, I was stashing some money.
Yeah.
I had about $25,000 in my savings.
Okay.
That's all I had at that time.
Right.
And I basically wiped it all out. But I was like, I'm good because I can do this again.
Yeah.
And I did. And then we built that business from that New Portrait Biz, 6 figures every single year for like 7 years. And back then, 6 figures was good.
Very significant.
You know, it was great. But anyway, my point is you don't need a big audience, even in today's world. You just need a loyal audience and people that are tuning in, but also people that are buying things. Obviously, your market buys Legos.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So it's like they're buying.
Yeah.
It's not like they're like, I need to save $1. They're like, no, I want to buy the next set.
And I think with what I'm doing, it is about investing. And when I'm directing them to a place, I'm directing to you where you can get your best value also. It's not just, oh, go pay here because it's expensive, and oh, by the way, click the link.
Yeah.
It's, I'm sending you here, by the way, it's 20% off right now.
Right.
Like, now is the time to buy it if you're planning on buying it for yourself or 10 of them.
Yeah.
So I'm always looking for a way to save money, because I don't pay full price ever for a Lego set.
Okay.
Right? I am always looking for
the
where
deal.
can I find a value, because it's my money.
Yeah.
Right? I want to keep some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay, cool. We're going to wrap this up. We're running out of daylight here. But I think this was good. And I think what I really like about it is like a lot of your struggles internally, I think everyone's feeling.
Yeah. I know I'm not the only one.
And I think it's good that you're sharing that. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to put Dave on the spot.
Oh, man. He didn't tell me this before.
We're going to do a check-in.
Okay.
We're going to do a check-in. So we are in August right now.
Mid-August.
We're going to do a check-in after the first of the year.
Okay.
Okay. And so what are you willing to commit to? Commitment, I know, is a strong word. Take a deep breath.
I hear I'm married 23 years,
I know.
so it's not that
I know.
was I on a job for 26,
Okay.
married 23.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So what do you think is like if you're looking back and you're writing yourself that letter of what you've accomplished by January, what is it?
Well, if I think about what my goal, like what I want to accomplish, on the channel, I want to be at a place where I can turn on the monetization button. Right, if I'm just say that. So that's 1,000 subscribers.
How many watch hours we got right now?
I'm at 3,000. I'm at like 75% for both.
Okay.
I was above the 4.
Okay.
I took time off. Obviously, it's every year, right? So
Okay.
So I'm at like 75% for both. So I'm right at 3,000 watch hours, and I'm right at 700. So 70% for the subscribers.
Okay, and we know that if we publish more, we're going to get to the watch hours faster.
Right, organically.
Not potential, we are.
Yeah.
We are going to get
So I definitely, like, one of my goals is to be monetized by the end of the year.
Okay, that's way doable. I think we're going to do it way before that. But go ahead.
And then I think I'm not familiar with YouTube earnings.
Okay.
Right, but I've always said, people have asked, well, what are you trying to do with the channel? I said, well, I want to grow it because I love it. I like to do this now. I feel much more comfortable doing it. But man, if at the end of the day, like, YouTube could at a minimum pay the mortgage.
Yeah.
Right, that's like goal one, pay the mortgage.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And whatever that amount is for whatever person's watching as you go through, just set a my goal is I'd love for Lego, I'd love for my YouTube channel to pay the mortgage.
Okay, I think that's fair.
And then from there grow. Now, is that going to happen by January? I don't know that.
Well,
but as long as we're moving in that direction, I'll feel good.
But the other side of this is we're heading into fourth quarter.
Yeah.
People buy toys in fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So you need to double down on the content.
Yeah.
For these Legos that people are buying for investments, but also buying for their kids.
For themselves. Yeah.
For themselves.
Yeah,
because what's going to happen here is, and you know this because you've done some Amazon stuff.
Yeah.
People are going to, and anyone that doesn't know this, people put it into their cart within 24 hours. If they buy that Lego set and they've got a treadmill in there that's $1,500, you're getting credit for the $1,500.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Buy a treadmill if you just happen to click my link.
So that's how it works.
Yeah.
So like we just looked at ours. So like we made 117.
I have so many questions off that, but not.
We've made $117 so far since we've been promoting the Osmo 6 and the DJIs.
Okay.
Which, by the way, if you want to see them, link in the bio.
Which I like these.
And you'll buy me a Liquid Death. Right? Seriously, that's what I tell people. Like I'm
gonna have a berry flavored one after this.
Yeah. So you'll have a Liquid Death.
So I think like to the goals, I've turned on Amazon Associates, and on this video, it'll be the first time I'm putting links in.
Okay.
So I'm obviously going to see how that goes. And I put a disclaimer. I'm like, hey guys, by the way, link below. If you're interested, you can buy me a cup of coffee. I appreciate it. It's nothing out of your pocket otherwise, right?
Yep.
So we'll see how that goes.
And I think you're going to make more on the affiliate side right now than you will on ad earnings.
Yeah, I think I can.
I know.
Yeah.
So
because I think there's another channel. So I want to. So we're talking goals, right?
Yep.
And then we'll get to commitment. I want to be able to turn on the monetization button. Like, Intermediate term is I want to be able to pay the mortgage with YouTube, whether that's YouTube and affiliate, just pay the mortgage.
Yep.
And then there's a certain point I can become a Lego affiliate. And I think that becomes really key for my viewership.
Okay.
Because there's an opportunity to start getting things in advance from Lego.
Okay.
Where I can talk about things and what's
things that are
coming
out.
out.
Yes.
Which is where you see these 100,000 plus subscribers.
They're getting it before anybody else.
They're talking about the new Dark Millennium Falcon that just came out. Cool set. Before it's released, and so people are, oh, let me see this set. Oh, it's got Ghost Jedi, Darth Vader kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Started to dork out for a minute there, but like those are those people.
Yeah, come on back.
I know those are those people. I'm here. Those are those people that like they have the 100,000 plus subscribers,
right?
And man, I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
So it's the path towards that. Now the commitment. My goal leaving my job was to do one a week. And clearly I've already failed there. But that doesn't mean I can't get back on the bandwagon.
Yeah, okay.
One a week, up it?
We need to go one a week on the standard video, and the second one I want you to add is a face to camera.
Okay.
Yes. I want 2.
Okay.
Yeah, 2. I don't think that's a lot to ask.
You see the trepidation, right? You see the fear.
I'm going to press you now. Yeah, there's no fear. There's no reason. Like, you don't have a commitment to a job right now.
Yeah, that's true. And you hear the breath when I say that.
So all you need to do is hook in your news feed, and then that's going to tell you what you're going to talk about that one morning over coffee when you're sitting out on your deck.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, that's simple. And if you need me to,
here's the
I'll
fear,
meet
though.
you at a coffee shop, and you can explain it to me.
We'll do it there.
And you just pretend you're telling me about it. And I'll be like bored out of my mind. I'll be like, yeah, who cares, Darth Vader.
Thanks for loving my hobby, by the way.
No problem. I love the business aspect of it.
I know. Yeah, but you could already tell the fear of making it perfect in my mind.
I need 2, and I need one that's not perfect. I need one that's like this, direct to camera, just telling news, telling what's happening. 10 minutes. I need that uploaded, and I need that to be like on a Tuesday or a Thursday or whatever. Okay. Right? And
so my normal rhythm is I like to release Friday afternoon, Friday morning. Okay. Like there's something in my head about weekend traffic.
That's fine. But
Proof or not, there's something in my head.
Then I want one then on Tuesday. I want one midweek or something. I don't want one just at the tail end.
Okay.
Let's test the beginning of the week too.
Okay.
Let's take both ends.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm saying okay with a big smile because I know I'm gonna have to push myself.
I know, and I'm gonna push you too.
I know that.
All right. So, anyone else that's feeling this, let us know in the comments if this is a real deal for you. And if it is, I'll be more than happy to push you.
What do we call this? YouTube fear?
YouTube
We need to make like a name for like a scientific.
Yes.
You know.
We'll have to come up with that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But we're going to have Dave back on. We're going to definitely do an update. So make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you like this if you got value from this. I think it was very valuable. So I want to thank you.
I appreciate you just getting it out there.
Yeah.
So thank you.
So I appreciate it, man.
Hey, man.
All right. Well, hey, until next time, click on this video right here, which is going to show you how I was able to, leave my job from a 1,000 subscriber YouTube channel, my first one. Watch that video next, and I'll see you there.